Hello and welcome to this commentary. This game is one between Ace and the Brutal Computer. We have me, Ace, on the upper right hand corner, an orange, and Brutal Warren in the lower left hand corner. Brutal Warren is probably the hardest of the Brutals in Allies, so I like to use him because he's the hardest. He uses a lot of sneaky tactics. So I've been trying to figure out how to beat the Brutal Warren, and it's taken me a couple of tries, like 6-7 tries, but I think I finally nailed it. As you can see, what you do is you pick the map, Battlebase Beta. I guess any map will work, but I use this one because I like it. I like the ambiance. I like the graphics. Plus, it's I think it was in the Empire, one of the missions in the Empire, and it sounds really cool and everything. But yeah, you build 3 dojo cores from the get-go. Just pump them out as soon as you can, and then you build 2 power plants. One as fast as possible, and the other one possibly covering your refinery. And ignore everything, the dogs and the scouts. Just get your dojo cores. Well, there's no hard and fast rules. Just get one here, second one in the middle, and the third one here. And basically you have to set similar waypoints so that they meet around the same area. And then it's a question of building 2 refineries so you get a steady income, which I have done here. And now you just pump out those units. As you can see, I've kind of built them in a row. And now it's a question of just spamming those units. What I did was I dedicated this barracks to building Imperial Warriors, this one to tank busters, and this one I build 5 Imperial Warriors first and then 15 tank busters or 20 tank busters. And that is because in the beginning you will need your warriors more than anything else, and it'll be very micro intensive. Let me just warn you. So if you're new to this game, this is not the strategy for you unless you're really good at microing. And if you are good at microing, this is a lot of fun. Basically what you do is you set the Imperial Warriors on you set them on their special attack. They will eventually they become the Jedi Masters, and you just push them forward towards the barracks, because the computer will pull out the defensive shield on his Peacekeeper. So you have to use your your special ability as a Jedi Knight, the Banzai charge, as it's called. Very, very effective. And then when he pulls his prospector out, you have to just avoid it, and you can get it down pretty fast. And if you do, it's really smart, because he loses his economy. So what you do is you set your tank busters on that prospector, and you set your Jedi Knights or Banzai charge on the Peacekeepers. So the tank busters should be focusing on buildings and riptides and prospectors, and the Imperial Warriors should be concentrating on the Peacekeepers. So you might want to put the tank busters on control group 1 and the Imperial on control group 2, for example, and make sure that you keep on changing the rally point. I put mine a little bit forward here because it was just more practical, because there's so much microing to do. Make sure that this defensive turret goes down really fast, because if he sneaks a Peacekeeper in there, it's game over for you. You cannot kill that base defense. So get that base defense down, get the prospector down, and then basically go for the boot camp. That's the best thing to do. And then after the boot camp, the armored facility, after you've taken down the riptides. Here, yeah, he's doing really nice microing with his riptides. But I managed to get out this very essential number of tank busters, and his riptides just go down. You can see how effective the tank busters are against the riptides. But the riptides are pretty good against the tank busters, to be fair. And if you really want to micro this well, when the tank buster is about to die, you can use their special ability, which is called the Spider Burrow. That's a really good idea to do that, because well, you'll save your tank buster to fight another day. Here he's put another multi-gunner turret, so you have to get that down. That's very essential, because otherwise he will sneak a Peacekeeper in there. I've tried that. That's how I lost 2 times, and it's impossible to get that base defense down. Now I'm taking down his refinery. But essentially, what I should do is just go straight for the armored facility, and that's also what I do now, I think. It's just those tank busters are so friggin' effective against buildings. You need to really focus fire them, and if you do that, get them in range, move them as fast as possible. Like here comes this prospector now, and if he walks all over units, it's game over. So you have to get the prospector. And here I just managed to sneak away on the. Just managed to save my units, and then I get the prospector. Yeah, you need to have like 10 or so tank busters to get the riptides down, otherwise, because they repair next to their armored facility, so you need a critical mass of tank busters. So after you built those 10-15, you have to queue another 5 or so, and then I just build tank busters. So one barracks is building Imperial Warriors after the initial phase, and in phase 2, I'm building only tank busters now, as you can see, and I'm running low on cash. But that's okay, because my opponent cannot build any units right now. But he still has his MCV. And this brings me to another point, because what I did for the first time, or this is the third attempt I had, I just killed the MCV a little bit. What he did was he deployed his MCV and he moved it out to water. And that was kind of annoying, because then I had to change to Navy. So he did a really nice strategy. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that you have a lot of units. And a lot of tank busters essentially, and you need to position them nicely, like somewhere here, so they can attack it. And while he's moving out that way or that way, they can kind of follow him. And you don't want them too close together, you want them spread out, so press X so that he cannot crush you, because otherwise he will go on a monster truck rally and try and kill all your units. So here I'm trying to flank his MCV because I know he's going to move it away from me, so I'm trying to get into position. Well, actually, no, I think I take the prospector out first, and then I go for the MCV. You can see how friggin' effective these tank busters are. It's amazing. They are so good. They are like, yeah, I don't know. You can say one of the best infantry units against tanks, in my opinion. They're just so damn good. He sells his refinery there, and now I'm moving my my tank buster into position. I just pressed X, and now I'm attacking his MCV. And when it reaches a critical point, he will deploy it, and you know, that is when you have to have enough tank busters to take down the MCV. Here, it's kind of overkill. I take down his MCV, and alternatively, I could have also microed the tank busters to take down the oil refinery, so he gets absolutely no income. But yeah, here's the strategy. I hope you guys can use it for something. It's a lot of fun. It's really micro intensive, but it's very fun and very satisfying seeing those tank busters just smash through the MCV and smash through the buildings. It is so much fun, and the good part is you defeat the allies under 5 minutes. I think this particular try took 4 minutes and 2 seconds. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The dojo rush is nothing